Flower in the crannied wall. I pluck you out of the crannies. I hold you here, root and all in my hand, little flower. But if I could understand what you are, root and all in all, I should know what God and man is. Tennyson.
Halston. Who is E.A. Halston? A man of his genius should most certainly be widely known.
Sir, Mr. E.A. Halston has been a student of mine for 4 years or more, and a graduate student and fellow this year. He is a man of good character, good physique, and unusual ability. I am glad to recommend him for Greenleaf Aid. Respectfully yours, W.E.B. Du Bois.
This is my great-uncle, Edwin Harleston. The family called him Teddy. He was my mother's uncle, and he reared her from her infancy.
You know, wouldn't it have been great if, as a student at Buste Elementary School, that we were told about this great artist who painted landscapes and portraits, and his wife was a photographer, a noted photographer, and had a studio right there on Calhoun Street?
The actual landscape, the artwork that was restored, is a panorama image of the gardens. And there's a gentleman painted at the foot of the Long White Bridge. He's dressed as a Charleston gentleman. He has a straw boater hat, a seersucker suit. It is believed that that is Edwin Halston painted into this image when it was hand tinted.
To me, as a curator, learning about Edwin Harleston and his paintings was significant because he contributes a different story, a different visual to Charleston's well-documented history by white artists.
He's not just a portrait painter. You know, he is an agent of change, and he can do it through his art, and he can do it through his politics.
When I think of all the things he's involved in between the funeral home and then the art, that his love and his passion, and then equally important to him was the civil rights movement, and he put equal passion into that.
And Edwin Harleston, I think, was inspired to help with that movement in terms of fighting that fight and making sure that he was a part of those who were on the front line to help tear down that veil that separated the races.
But if you can imagine stripping away color and just looking at what someone does, how can you not be impressed by an artist of his skills, his sophistication, his travel, knowledge base? How could you not be impressed by that?
Honestly, I would say, to me, Edwin Harleston was part of that legacy. Edwin Harleston was part of that grounding, that foundation, that radical footing that made it possible for me to be here today.
He had a lot of obstacles in his way, a lot of discouragement along the way, a lot of financial setbacks, but he stuck with his painting, his passion, and that has inspired me in never giving up.
I've lived with Edwin Harleston for a long time, and you know, I think probably the greatest lesson that I've learned from him is tenacity. You know, to stick with it no matter what. You know, through thick and thin, through good and bad, you know, to keep going and, you know, to keep it alive, to keep the dream alive, to keep his dream alive. And, you know, because I've been working with him for, you know, more than 3 decades now. And I'm grateful, you know, for his presence in my life.